Hello, and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. I'm Sam, the founder of Freedom with Marketing, and welcome to the Life, Leadership and Business Lessons series. In this series of videos, I'm going to share some personal stories and lessons I've learned along the way. Most of these will be from mistakes that I've learned the hard way, and they're here to share my experiences, what I've learned in the process, and more importantly, so you can avoid making the same mistake that I do. This video today is going to talk about a concept which is something that I unfortunately only learned recently. In other words, I spent more than 30 years on this planet without understanding this, and it has led to a lot of emotional stress. When you have emotional stress, that leads on to impact your mental performance, which means you'll be less efficient, less productive at what you do. It also reduces your physical performance, which means you won't be able to perform at your peak, and you'll feel sluggish and just generally feeling pretty bad on a day-to-day basis. And this concept is nobody can predict the future, positive or negative, so why worry about it? This is something that I have experienced a lot in my life, where, for example, with Bitcoin a few years back, all of the videos and influencers I was watching were saying Bitcoin's going to the moon, it's going to make this much money, it's going to be worth this, it's going to be worth that. Unfortunately, I believed them and lost a lot of money in the process. Another example was during the COVID era here in Malaysia, and when certain parts of the population who refused to get the mandatory permanent medical procedure were not allowed to go to supermarkets, were not allowed to buy food for their babies, were not allowed to get medical treatment at certain hospitals, which is all something that I unfortunately experienced, and pretty much going into a death spiral of negativity around that, and not understanding and getting myself into a position where I think that this is going to last forever. People are going to have to wear masks forever. What's it going to be like in the future? I don't want my young son to be forced to wear masks at any time. All these negative thoughts resulted in a whole lot of pain and stress for me, which negatively impacted my performance. In both scenarios, one was positive and one was negative. I naively believed into these schools of thought, listening to the influencers, listening to people that I'm talking, making my own assumptions based on the narrative that Bitcoin's going to go up and never stop going up, the narrative that things are going to get worse. And in both cases, I lost out. The lesson, of course, is you cannot predict the future. Nobody can predict the future. Anyone that tells you they can predict the future are either naive or they're lying. So why worry about it? The only thing that you can do is to focus on the present moment. The only thing you can do is have a clear idea of what you want to achieve in the future, in your personal life, your personal goals, in your business life, what you want to achieve with your business, what your vision is for the business, what your mission is for the business, and in any other area of your life, your relationships with your spouse, your wife, your husband, with your children, how do you want that to look in the future? When you can clearly define what you want in different areas of life, you can then focus on present moment and make a decision of what can I do right now, in this second, in this moment, that is going to move me closer towards one or all of my goals in these different areas, and then you literally just ignore all of the rest of the noise. By ignoring the noise, I don't mean that if you have investments, for example, or if you have a business and all of the warning signs are telling you that something bad's going to happen, by something bad, that perhaps your investment in this particular asset class, the warning signs are there that the price is going to go down, it might be a good time to move your assets. I'm not saying to ignore the warning signs. Or likewise in your business, if all the warning signs are showing that your sales are dipping and that this may lead to potential cash flow issues in the future, such as if you're with a client I recently worked with, they consistently had a 25% conversion rate on sales calls. This dropped to 18%. And because they operate at such low profit margins, this has become a major problem, which is one of the reasons I came in to try and help them get out of this potential predicament. When things like this happen, you should not ignore them. but you should go back to the present moment and make decisions based on what can you do now in order to resolve the issue in the future. If you sit there and start catastrophizing, is that how you say it? Or basically thinking that the worst case scenario is going to happen, it will not get you anywhere. It will just lead to disappointment. It will lead to stress. The more stress you have, the less able you're able to make rational decisions, which will be detrimental to the situation you'll find yourself in the future. When you have a level head, you realize no one can predict the future. Nothing is going to be as bad as you expect it to be, and have confidence that you will always find a way out of any situation. Also, by seeing situations where they are supposedly positive and getting better and better, to always have a level head and know that this too shall pass, and you can take precautions to make sure that you always come out. So the takeaway lesson here is, nobody can predict the future. Nobody can predict what will happen in a positive way. Nobody can predict what will happen in a negative way. And people that tell you otherwise are either lying or naive. When you can adapt this and you focus on what can you do now in this present moment, it will set you up to build mental resilience and to be able to get through any situation that's thrown at you. I hope you found this lesson valuable. It took me a long time to learn and figure this out, with a lot of pain in the process, but now that I've found it out, I'm trying, it's harder than you think, to adapt, to put it into your life, and for me, I've never been happier. That's all I've got for you. See you in the next video. Thank you.